You're not just loving a man, you're loving the rebuild of a lineage. Give him grace. He's not running from you. He's running toward a future that finally looks like something you both can be proud of. Ladies, slide up your chair real close, especially if you're in a relationship with a man who stays quiet, who's always grinding, always thinking. This one is for you. Tell your girlfriends to slide up a chair too. I want them to tune in because I want this message to get to as many women as possible, because I'm about to break down something most women misread every single day. Men, you guys could take the day off. I'm handling this one. I'm gonna get things right for us. Sit back. Just because he's not talkative doesn't mean that he's disconnected. Just because he's not explaining himself doesn't mean that he's not engaged. A productive man's silence isn't laziness. It's mental load. It's pressure. It's him carrying things he doesn't even have the energy to explain. And if you stay with me, I'm going to teach you how to stop taking that silence personal and start recognizing the signs of a man who is trying to lead under pressure. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to support him without feeling left out. And that right there, that's the key to building without breaking apart. I need you to hear this. If you've ever looked at your man just sitting there quiet, not saying anything, not doing anything in that moment, and you thought to yourself, why won't he just talk to me? Why is he always in his own head? Or maybe you felt like he's not present. He's choosing work or projects over quality time with you. Let me tell you something that most productive men don't always know how to say. We're not checked out. We're checking in with ourselves, our responsibilities, and the pressure we carry. See, there's a version of manhood you might not fully see with your eyes because it doesn't always show up loud. It doesn't always look busy, but it's constantly working. We are planners, we are fixers, we are builders. And even when we're sitting still, we're rarely ever doing just nothing. Our minds don't shut off. We're thinking about bills, goals, the future, the solutions we haven't found yet, the ways we are trying to be better men, better fathers, better husbands to you. Sometimes we're just quiet because we're carrying a weight we haven't figured out how to put into words yet. This episode, it's not a defense. We're not trying to defend anything. It's a window because we want you to feel connected. We want you to feel included. You want to help? You want to be a part of what he's building and not just someone sitting on the sidelines? So today, I want to invite you into the mind of a productive man, a man who might not always say what he's thinking, but he's constantly thinking of how to take care of the people he loves. This is for every woman who's ever felt overlooked. Every wife who's ever felt second to the hustle. Every partner who's ever questioned if her man still sees her while he's chasing his mission. He does. And we're going to talk about that today. So stick with me. When you see your man sitting there in silence, staring at the floor, scrolling through his phone, just sitting in the car for 10 minutes before he walks into the house, you might think he's avoiding me. You might feel like he's disengaged. But I promise you, 9 times out of 10, he is processing. Productive men don't know how to turn their minds off. I am so guilty of this. Even when our bodies are resting, our brains are still in motion. We are running calculations in our heads that no one else can see. We are thinking about how to pay off that debt. We are trying to figure out how to fix what broke in the house without throwing off the budget. We're wondering if our kids are really okay, even though they might say, I'm fine. We are strategizing for the next move at work or for the side hustle we hope will finally give us that breathing room that we're working so hard to find. So when we're quiet, it is not because we're lazy. It's not because we don't want to engage with you. It is because we are in the middle of a mental blueprint that is still unfolding. And if you interrupt that blueprint too many times, it feels like starting over from scratch to us. Not because we don't care about what you're saying, but because productive men operate on a rhythm. We are wired to follow structure. And when we're in that flow, we're locked into that inner world of focus and problem solving. It's hard to switch gears on demand. Sometimes we're not smart enough to do that. We're not capable of it. You know what I mean? And here is why he doesn't like to be pulled away from that task. First, let me tell you something that might shift how you see his silence or resistance to stopping in the middle of a task. When a productive man is working on something, whether it's fixing a leaky sink, setting up a new business system, or cleaning out the garage, he's not just doing a task. He is solving a puzzle that's been taking up space in his mind. This is so real. I can't explain to you how real this is. Every piece he puts into place, every step he takes gives him momentum. And momentum is sacred to a man with responsibilities. So when he's interrupted in the middle of that flow, it's not about him being dismissive or cold. It's because that momentum was helping him cope. It was helping him feel useful, purposeful, focused. You ever walk in and say, babe, can you come help me with this real quick? And he might tense up or takes longer than you expected. That moment there, he's not trying to ignore you. He's trying to finish the thought he's already been carrying around all day. He wants to be there, but not while his mind is scattered and split. Because when a man shows up, he wants to do the right thing, not rushed, not sloppy, not halfway. That's how we think. And I know you're thinking, but I need help now. And that's fair. But I want to invite you in to see it this way. He's not choosing that task over you. He is choosing to complete the task for you. Because in his mind, the faster he finishes it, the more secure your life becomes. You're not invisible. He is just on a mission. There is something deeply emotional I want to address here, because I know what it feels like when a woman starts to question their value in a man's life. You might be thinking, if he really loved me, he'll stop doing what he's doing and be present with me. And yes, your presence does matter deeply. But understand this, a productive man's presence doesn't always look like a conversation and cuddles. Sometimes it looks like grinding late at night, researching solutions, staying quiet because he's mentally checking the boxes to make sure the family is okay. He's not distant because he doesn't love you. He is distant because he's carrying the weight of that love in ways you can't always see. And it's not that he doesn't want to be close. He's just in a mental space where he's trying to earn peace before he enjoys it. That's the heart of a builder. That's the heart of a man who's always thinking 5 steps ahead. Here's a quick side note to you ladies. He plans his time, even if he doesn't say it out loud. One of the most misunderstood thing about a productive man is this. We already have our days mapped out in our heads. Even if we don't always say it out loud, we wake up immediately starting to sort out tasks and files. We're sorting these things out. What's urgent? What can wait? What needs to be done first to make everything else easier later? We do this silently in the shower, on the drive to work, during the drive home, during lunch, even while we're sitting on the couch. We are organizing, we're sorting, we're prioritizing. So when you ask, what are we thinking about? And he says, nothing. It's not because there's nothing there. It's because he's trying to simplify something massive into a sentence he thinks won't worry you. He's got 10 tabs open in his brain, each one tied to a responsibility, a dream, a fear, a deadline. He's moving through them quietly, carefully, because that's how he leads with focus. And sometimes all he needs is space, not isolation, not silence, just space to think, to solve, to return with clarity. And I know most women like a spontaneous reaction. And as men, we do have to do better with this. Trust me, we know this is why being spontaneous is important to you, but it can be hard for us. You think, why can't he just let loose and be spontaneous? Or why can't we just go out and do something without it being planned? Here's why. A productive man lives by a mental checklist. And once that checklist is in motion, veering off can often feel like failure, not fun. It's not that he doesn't want to enjoy time with you. It's that he's already emotionally and mentally committed to the plan. When you interrupt that flow, even for a good reason, it feels like you're pulling him out of something he's finally making progress on. And for men who are constantly battling time, that pressure and expectations, that interruption doesn't feel light. It feels like starting over. This doesn't mean he can't be flexible. It means he just needs notice. He needs a chance to wrap up mentally so he can transition fully and give you all of him, not just a distracted version. You know, the version that you hate? Yeah, that version. How can you help him without having to fix it? Ladies, here's where your power really shines. You don't need to solve everything for your man, but your support, your understanding, your timing, your belief in him, it fuels him. So Here's the top 5 ways you can be his helpmate in ways that speaks directly to his heart. Here we go. Hey guys, it's Damon. I just want to hop in real quick. If this message resonate with you, then you're not going to want to miss the next one. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. While you're at it, just hit that notification bell so you never miss an upcoming episode. Here on Call Me First, we're building a community of men who lead with purpose, protect with conviction, and love with intention. Whether you're a husband, a father, or a man trying to break generational cycles, this space is for you. And if you're serious about growing, being more present, and becoming the kind of man your family can count on, then stay locked in. Subscribe, turn on those notifications, and let's walk this leadership journey together. All right, now let's get back into it. Number 1, honor his silence without assuming distance. When he's quiet, don't jump to conclusions. Sometimes silence is a strategy. It's reflection. It's mental maintenance, right? Number 2, ask, how can you support his mission? Try this. What's one thing I can help take off your plate this week, babe? That question, that changes the whole game. Believe me when I tell you, right? Follow through with that. Number 3, respect his time blocks. If he's in motion, let him finish the mental blueprint that he's working on. Then he'll come back to you fully and present, right? Number 4, celebrate his progress, even if it is slow. If you see him pushing, affirm it. He may not always say it, but your belief in him fuels every late night, every early morning. Number 5, remind him that his effort is seen, not just his results. When a man knows his woman sees his effort, not just his output, it gives him the courage to keep going. I hear women say that they're not perfect, but they're willing to try. Well, this is all we need you to do, because we're not perfect either. But we're trying to build a life where you feel safe, protected, and cherished. And we want that for you every single day. Your reassurance, that fuels the tank that we carry. Another thing women may not be aware of with us is that we have to balance presence with pressure. Here's the truth. A lot of men carry but rarely say it out loud. We want to be more present. We want to laugh more. We want to play more. We want to sit on the floor with the kids, hold our wives longer, be more emotionally available. But the pressure we feel to make sure the roof stays over everyone's head, the lights stay on, the future stays secure, that pressure doesn't turn off because we walked through the door. We walk into the house with our minds still running through problems from the day. We're replaying conversations from work, thinking through money decisions, remembering what still didn't get done, and trying to find time to handle all of this. And here's the internal battle most women never see. We feel guilt for not fully being present. We feel panicked when we fall short, when we fall behind, when responsibilities overcome us. It's not that we love the work more than we love our family. It's that we know what happens to a family when a man stops working on the things that matter. We know the cost of dropping the ball. So we try to juggle it all quietly. Sometimes it looks like we are ignoring what's going on around us. But really, we're trying to fix everything that you and the kids don't have to carry. We don't want you to carry it. We just want to get it right. Trust me, when I tell you this, he's not avoiding you. He's trying to earn his right to rest. Let that sink in for a second. Most men don't feel like they have earned rest until the job is done. How crazy is that? Even when you say, just sit down, relax, he hears you, but he hasn't finished what he was doing yet. And when a man feels like his family needs something more, like more income, more support, more direction, he puts rest at the bottom of the list. That's why he stays up late. That's why he doesn't sleep well. That's why he doesn't want to stop what he's doing to watch TV or take a random day off. It's not because he is rejecting you. He is rejecting the idea of being unprepared. His drive is tied to his identity. His task list is tied to his love. His vision is tied to your future. And when he knows he's making progress, when he can see that all the pressure is producing something better, that's when he rests. That's when he breathes. But the rest doesn't come from stepping away. It comes from seeing results. Let's go a bit deeper. There are some weights we carry that no one ever sees because we don't talk about them. Not because we are hiding it, but because we are focused. Because stopping to explain them would take energy. Energy we're already using to hold everything up. And truthfully, most productive men don't feel like they have the luxury of stopping to talk about how they feel. So instead, we internalize things like, what happens if I fail at this? Will my family still believe in me if this plan doesn't work? How do I keep going when I'm exhausted and no one seems to notice? What happens if I drop the ball? I've been juggling for so long. These questions don't always come out in words, but they shape how we move. They shape our silence. They shape the way we answer. They shape why we don't want to stop in the middle of a task to talk about something else, because we already feel like we're one misstep away from everything falling apart. This is what we mean when we say we're not doing anything. We're doing everything but inside. Mentally productive looks different than physical presence. Here's where it gets tricky in most relationships. Women tend to feel love through emotional connection, through eye contact, words, and attention. Men tend to feel love through contribution, through acts of service, through execution, through completing a task. So what looks like a disconnection to a woman is often a man trying to show love in the only way he knows how, by producing, by protecting, by solving. It's not a lack of care. It's a different language of care. And this is where unity starts. When we stop trying to make each other operate the same and start recognizing what love looks like through the lens of leadership and responsibility that he's carrying. He is carrying generational pressure too. Let me talk to the women who are married to first generation builders. If your man is the first in his family to build something different, if he's the one trying to break cycles, build wealth, lead better, love harder, and raise his children right, then you're loving a man who's at war with history. And that kind of fight doesn't come with peace and ease every day. He's not trying to be a good man. He's trying to undo the damage of the men who came before him. So sometimes he's silent because he's fighting internal battles that were never his fault. Sometimes he's intense because he's terrified of becoming what he swore he would never be. Sometimes he is consumed with building because he knows what it's like to grow up without. You're not just loving a man. You're loving the rebuild of a lineage. Give him grace. He's not running from you. He's running toward a future that finally looks like something you both can be proud of. So by now, you may be wondering, how do you become a powerful partner to a productive man? So let's get practical. If you're listening to all of this and you're thinking, okay, I understand them better now, but what do I do with this? Let me help you. I want you to turn this insight into action. Here are 5 ways you can walk beside a man who is building something without losing connection and without burning yourself out in the process. Number 1, don't take his distance personal. Take it seriously. Distance doesn't always mean detachment. Sometimes it means he is buried in thought. Sometimes it means he is processing, solving, forecasting what comes next. If you assume his silence is rejection, you'll respond with hurt. But if you see it as a mental movement, you'll respond with grace. You don't need to interrupt his progress. You just need to let him know you're with him in the progress. Number 2, watch for burnout and know when to pull him back. Some men don't always know when to rest. We won't admit it. When we're tired, we'll keep pushing until something forces us to slow down. Something like our health, our mood, our relationships. That's where you come in. But the reminder, the balance to say you've done enough for today, let's rest, not as a complaint, but as a teammate who sees the sign and steps in before it gets too heavy. Sometimes we need that, ladies. Number 3, learn his love language, but also his leadership language. Love language matters, but productive men also has leadership language. The way he receives encouragement in his role as a provider and protector or a builder. For some men, it's respect. For others, it's trust. For others, it's praise. Figure out how your man receives leadership affirmation, not just affection. Because when he feels supported in his purpose, it amplifies the love in his presence. Number 4, protect his vision. Even when you don't see it. Listen, this is a big one. Sometimes your man will be working on things that aren't clear yet. He's building a business, writing a plan, mapping out a strategy, and it doesn't make sense to you yet. That's okay. You don't have to fully see the vision to protect the value of it. Ask questions if you need clarity, but don't criticize what's still under construction. Trust is the soil that vision grows in. Number 5, call him back home with love, not guilt. Yes, men get tunnel vision. Yes, we can get locked in and forget to check in emotionally. We're sorry about that. But when you call us back, when you say, babe, I miss you, can we reconnect? Say it with love. Don't try to make him feel guilty. Don't shame him for being focused. Invite him in to share what he's been focused on. That's how you keep intimacy alive without killing his momentum. Let me paint you a picture, a real life picture. Let's say it's a Saturday. Your man wakes up early, grabs coffee, sits down at the kitchen table, and starts scrolling on his phone. He's quiet, he's focused, no TV, no music, just silence and in thought. From the outside, it might look like he's ignoring everyone, like he's just wasting time. But what you don't see is him running numbers in his head. He is checking business analytics. He's mapping out next week's work schedule. He's calculating how to pay 2 bills early while still having enough to take the family out next weekend. He's thinking about what he said to your son last night and wondering if it landed. He's not doing nothing. He's doing everything mentally. Now, you walk in and say, why are you always in your phone? Can't we just spend some time together? You're not wrong for feeling like that, miss. You're not wrong for feeling like that at all. You're not wrong for wanting more time, but what he hears is your effort doesn't matter. And that cuts deep. That moment right there, that's where the disconnect starts. Not because of love, but because of a misunderstanding. Now imagine that same moment, but instead you say, hey, I see you thinking. Let me know when you're ready to come up for some air. I'd love to spend a little time with you whenever you can. Ladies, that is a game changer. That lets him know you respect his process, that you're not against his productivity. You're just wanting to be a part of it. And when he's ready, he'll remember that. He'll come back to you faster because he feels understood. That is the game.